I sent her a link, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Good evening, guys. Sorry about that. I'm running 2 minutes overtime. You know what it's like coming from one place to another place. We're just waiting for Wendy to come, then then I will let her go. Um, just get her link up again.
Did you defend the tab again?
Be back together.
Pardon? What one can that?
Yeah, that's right. Hello.
Sorry about that. All of
It's
a sudden I
okay.
came on and I'm going on Messenger and I'm thinking, where is he? And then I realised it were on my old account.
That's
Because I've
okay.
finally
Do
been
not
able
worry.
to get into my old account. Anyway, I found it.
It's okay. All right. So, okay.
You are now speaking to a
Yeah.
best-selling author. We launched today and
Well
it was
done.
phenomenal.
How many books?
Hmm?
How many books have you sold so far?
I'm not sure of the exact numbers because it's Marav that's dealing with that side, but it was about getting to number one in certain categories. So I have been at number
All
one
right.
in care and counselling, number one in psychology research. So, and another number one in education and counselling. So I'm thrilled
Oh,
to
well
bits.
done.
I mean, you don't
Well
have to
done.
get it works in the way that the boost that it's by doing a big boost and a big promotion, it just gets you to the top of them for a certain period of time. So I have my glass of champagne. I have my
Congratulations.
balloons. Look at this. Let me get it at right angle. There we go.
Oh yeah. Well done.
So, but they're not quite low enough to see on video, are they? So yeah,
No,
it's
no,
been an
no.
eventful day, which I was driving home from Gravesend yesterday, so that's why I couldn't. Normally, I drive home on a Friday night because and do the podcast from the hotel, but because I was doing this today, that's why. So here I am,
Well done.
and here it
You
is.
carry on.
Right. So
Well
it
done.
seems so. So what I thought I would do, because I do believe that I read the forward out to you last week, is I will give you an insight into. I think we'll go for an insight into one of the methods that we use within the book, and it is the book, and it is the one called the energy alignment method. Now, the energy alignment method is an absolutely amazing way for how to get rid of stress. And it begins with what's the word? A kinesthetic or a kinesiology style check. So if any of you have ever used a pendant, that's based on the kinesiology as well. And it is about where you get it's a muscle response. It's a muscle response for that either strengthens the muscles or weakens the muscles when you do it. So, for example, if you normally go for a kinesiology check, it might be that they'll have you put your arm out. They'll say a word that is empowering, and your arm remains incredibly strong. And then they'll say something like my ex-husband's name, and that I didn't even do that intentionally. And then your arm goes down. But within the energy alignment method, we use a method that is called the sway. Now, the sway is it's the equivalent of the kinesiology check, but it's done stood up, and it is ask you a question. What you find is, so if I go, my name is Wendy Elliott, then I would sway. Normally, it's you sway forwards for yes and back for no. And if it's different to that, then it means that there is an energetic back to frontness that just needs a little bit of resolving and then can get straightened out. But that's just part and parcel of it. That's just step one. But the key steps within the energy alignment method are the steps whereby you explore what's happening within your own energy, and you just use that check to see if it's yes or no. So, for example, you explore it, so you kind of go, do I have do I have any resistance to releasing this? And you might sway forward. So then you have to release the resistance to releasing the energy before you're then able to release the energy. And it works on a verbal command, really, to the universe. It is so let's just think and let's just do it around anxiety. So when you're feeling anxious, so let's just explore the energy around anxiety. So when you're feeling anxious, where do you actually feel it energetically in your body? Or where do you feel it physically in your body? What sensations do you actually experience? So for many people, let's give an example that it might be that I feel butterflies in my stomach, and I feel a tension in my chest and throat. So when we come to do what we're going to do is we're going to release that particular energy of anxiety. We're going to release it and get it out of your system. And how we do that is it's what we call step 4, and then step 5 is, because it's called the energy alignment method, we do the alignment. So I'm kind of zooming through steps 1 to 3 because one is they're not included in the book because they do a very simple methodology that isn't the full energy alignment method. And if you want to find out more about that, there is a wonderful lady called Yvette Taylor who downloaded the method, and her knowledge of it and the way that she applies it is phenomenal. She comes from a Chinese medicine background as an acupuncturist, and she's a brilliant, absolutely brilliant energy worker. And I still use this method because I studied it for nearly 2 years, and I still use this method each morning. When I get up, I do what I call my energetic checks, so that I check that my head, my heart, my heart are in alignment. I check my chakras are all clear. I check my auras, and I check that I'm connected to we're always connected to source, but we sometimes put blockages in our way and prevent ourselves from being so. So I check that I haven't got any blockages preventing me being connected to Source and to Clotho, who is one of the fates that is my lead link and guide, and to the angels and archangels. And so that is literally my morning routine. And I use the energy alignment method in this way to check that I am connected in those ways. Sometimes I don't actually need to ask because I know, but sometimes if there's something playing me up, and the one question that I always ask is, am I 100% in my own energy? Because hi Sylvia, because in these times like this is when my energy can become depleted with the energy of my energy can become depleted when the energy of the masses comes to me. So, for example, with the issue of the Queen having died, it literally it's palpable because it is a group feeling, and as someone who is sensitive, I pick up that, and so there is nothing to grieve in actual fact, but for many people they feel that there is. So I absolutely and utterly respect that. The other is that so I use this every morning. Having done that, so as I was saying, and when it's times like today, I find I can end up in somebody else's energy who's feeling upset incredibly quickly and take it on without even realizing that I have done, because I've always had empathic tendencies. I don't do this. I don't play the victim empath because I'm not. What I never, but at times I didn't realize where my energetic emotions were coming from, and they were coming from the they were coming from the. Go on, you tell me, and I'll tell you. They were coming from other people. So, with the energy alignment method, back to the energy alignment method, what I'm going to teach you today is how to do the releasing. And so we're going to release that description of anxiety that I've used, that is a very common description of anxiety. It's not necessarily the one that you may or may not experience. And if you experience it in a different way, and in the book I do use a slightly different example, then feel free to describe it how you feel when you are anxious. And the energy alignment method does work best when you're thinking about a specific situation where you're feeling in one way, and then when you're feeling in that way, you then you connect into it in a way that then allows you to release the energy of that moment. So here I am. I'm not, but here I am. I'm in a state. So I'm feeling in a state of anxiety. Let's say I've had an argument with my husband. One, I'm not married to it, but for the rest that goes with it. But just as the example. And so I'm feeling anxious that he's not going to talk to me. I'm feeling worried that this could go on for days. I'm feeling all of those kind of, it could be any of those kind of things. So how do I deal with this anxiety? Well, what I do is I choose to let it go. And first I check it out, and then I get into the feel of it, and then I find where it is, and is this in what situations that I'm wanting to release it and explore that particular anxiety. And then I go, so I am now ready to release. And if you feel that you want to follow me on this one, please do. I am now ready to release this feeling of anxiety that results in this feeling of butterflies in my stomach, a tight feeling in my chest, and a restriction in my throat. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And this is using the power of the spoken word, because the sound and the power of the spoken word is some of the most powerful messages that you can give to the energetics and to the energy around you. As human beings, we have far more abilities and capabilities than we give ourselves credit for. And we frequently because of that, give our power away to someone else. And I know we've spoken about victim mentality previously, because what happens is when we give our power away to someone else, it means that we are it means that we are disempowering ourselves, and we are not taking responsibility for ourselves. And if we hand over responsibility to someone else, it is incredibly disempowering. And then it becomes a habit, and we think that we're not capable of taking care of ourselves and taking our own power, when in actual fact, we are totally in command of our own power. And even when we've given it away to someone else, we are in command of it because we have chosen to give it away. And taking it back can sometimes be a little bit more uncomfortable than just keeping going and playing the game. But to truly develop your energies, you do need to take your own responsibility and accountability for the energies that affect you and for the events that occur around you, because I am an absolute believer in the law of attraction, and what we give out is what we get back. And if we don't take the responsibility for ourselves and give it to someone else, then that's what leads to suffering. So I've now got that statement about my anxiety. And what I do next is I repeat it another twice. So if anybody's listening to me and joining in with me, what I'd like you to do now is just join in with me and repeat after me for the second time. I am now ready to release this feeling of anxiety that causes the butterflies in my stomach, the tightness in my chest, and the constriction in my throat. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And we say it a third time. Oh, that's made me shiver. I am now ready to release this feeling of anxiety in my that creates butterflies in my stomach, tightness in my chest, and a constriction in my throat. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And this then, and that means that you've then released the energy. Now, if you don't feel the release of energy, you know, when I mentioned that there could be resistance, then it's very likely that you've got some form of resistance, because energy flows in three ways. So it's either, and I like to give the description. So we've all heard the term that when you're in the flow, everything just goes beautifully. It's like being in a river and it's floating downhill, and it's absolutely wonderful. When the energy is flowing around you, life's so smooth, things just happen as they're meant to, and you're living in that wonderful position of joy, wonder, and awe. The other two types of energy direction are resistance and reversal. Now, in resistance, it's like, so you've got so you're wanting to flow down the river, but it's as though somebody has got a hook on your boat and just keeps pulling it back up, and then it releases it a little bit, and then they pull it back up. So you're going a little bit at a time. It's a little bit like in the terms of the 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's as though you're just hitting up against this resistance all of the time, that no matter what you do, it is stopping you. Now, if the original incident that created a situation is quite energetically traumatic, it can cause what's known as a reversal. And a reversal is like, so if you're talking about the reversal of energy, it is like you're trying to go forwards, and it's not only that you're not being able to move forwards, but that if you do try and go forwards, you end up shooting back even further. So instead of being 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, it's more like 1 step forward, 3 steps back. It literally, as you do something, it's though you feel that it pushes you further away. And that is when your energy is in reverse. And all of these can be released in exactly the same way that I've just shown you. In that if you find that you've not been able to release the anxiety, you ask your energy and your sway, do I have a reversal? Do I have a resistance? And it will tell you. And then all you do is go, I am now ready to release this reversal or resistance from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And it will release it. It's just released one for me, whatever, or it certainly make me get a nice, lovely shiver down my back, which is a good indication that my energy is flowing and that I am connected to my guides, my angels, and my source. And that's it. So, but once we release energy and once we've released the anxiety, that anxiety, we experienced it physically. We experienced it in our abdomen, we experience it in our chest, we experience it with the hormones. But when we release any energy from our, whether it's physical or whether it's in our auras or different layers of the aura, when we release it, we then need to fill it with something else, because we don't, if we've got the negative energy and it's gone, what we don't want to do is something to come back in to fill it up again. So what we want now is lovely positive energy to come in. So what we do is the final step of the energy alignment method is called alignment, and this is why it's called the energy alignment method. And how we do that is we think of ourselves as a channel for the energy coming in. and we open ourselves up for that energy to come in. So anybody that's done yoga will recognize this position of being stood, opening up to, I can't remember what the position's called. I call it the YNCA position, that we're in the Y position. And how we do it is in this Y position, we then decide what we want to fill ourselves with. So instead of feeling that we're anxious, what do we want to feel? And each person has different words that have different energetic meanings for them. One of my words that is magnificent, joyous, happy. So that's how I want to feel it rather than anxious. I want to feel joyous, happy, and living in my magnificence. And so this is how we do it. And what we do is we open our arms to accept the energy to come in. Visualize it coming in, visualize it coming down towards you and filling you up, and literally filling you up. And you just go, I am ready to receive joy, happiness, and to live in my magnificence. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And we repeat it another twice. I am ready to receive joy, happiness, and my magnificence, and live in my magnificence. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And I am ready to receive joy, happiness, and to live in my magnificence. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And you can also use it to align to to any affirmation. So for example, one of the things when anxiety comes up and you're in a situation that you've not faced before, one of my favorite affirmations is, I have, it's my balloons making squeaking noises. One went bang yesterday and scared me to death. I have the courage and the resources to navigate any situation. So it's not saying that it's going to go perfectly. It's not saying that life is perfect, because it isn't. It is saying that you have the courage and the resources to be able to do so. So it's aligned to having that courage and those resources to be able to deal with whatever comes your way. Because as we all know, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, happens. So that's the talk for today. So I hope that as you've done it, you've been able to get some benefit. It is one of the methods that are included in the 9 methods for snapshots of a life lived with anxiety and 9 methods to deal with it. It's available now on Amazon for the price of 99 pence on Kindle and £12 in this hard copy version. And it contains, as I've said, snapshots of my life at times when I have struggled, and then it also gives you a wide variety of different ways of being able to deal with it. And I don't know what that noise is in the background. Is it you, Steve? Can you hear it?
No, it's not me. No.
I don't know what it sounds like. Oh, it's gone now. So it could be my ear things, but they don't normally do that. Anyway, we're back to normal. So that brings me to the end of that little example. Steve's back. Hello.
No, it's not me. We've not me. I think we got someone online or something like that. They keep on clicking
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yes, so brings me to the end of an incredibly exciting and high energy, and now put it this way, I'm going to sleep well tonight. Because
Thank you so much.
a very long day, but it's been one of the best days ever. I can't believe I've been saying to so many of the people that have been supporting me today in helping me promote the book and in helping me get the sales going for the book. And one of the things that Steve's disappeared from me. One of the things, sorry about those noises, it's coming from my computer. One of the things that I was saying is, and that I hadn't realized until today, the writing of the book has been a massive healing process for me, because in writing about certain times that were quite traumatic, and if you read the book, my daughter read it for the first time, read the full book yesterday, and she said she was in tears at certain points. She hadn't realised what I'd been experiencing, and it's explained to her now certain things that I do now, and she understands it. And so it's not, it reads, it flows. There are some interesting events in there, but the real magic in here is the exercises and the tools to make use to enable somebody to manage the anxiety. But as I was saying, the whole of the writing of it, I hadn't realised how much I'd grown during that process, how much I've been able to start talking about things that previously I wouldn't be able to talk about, how much I've been able to make those comments to people that, so for example, having gone back into the residential homes now that we can go back in without having had the vaccine. Previously, I wouldn't have dared say to anybody that previously I didn't share that I was spiritual and psychic and doing. Now I walk in and I kind of go, I've drawn a card for this morning, folks. This is what we've drawn. Let's deal with this today. This is what we can expect. And we do it with in an uplifting and nobody's gone that Wendy's notes, because they actually recognise that I do have not only those skills but also the other skills as far as the management of the home goes, and that if when they're saying to me, what keeps you so smiling, what keeps you so happy, well, it's the stuff that's in here that allows me to do that without getting pulled down and dragged down by when other people are feeling down or depressed. So it's been a reflective day as well as thank you so much.
Congratulations, and brilliant. Thank you so much. Don't forget, people, if you want to buy it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, and it is
it's
Me
also
and My Worry Monster.
There you go, and it's doing quite well at the moment. So get your book now before
And I'd
all
love to
run
keep
out.
it doing well.
Yes.
And we have chosen that we're going to keep it on at the reduced price for a while, but I don't know when it'll be coming off that price. So it's only 99p on Kindle. If anybody's finding that they're struggling financially, you can get it on Kindle. You can read your Kindle on your computer, on your phone. So you can get it literally and get all the benefits of it for just 99 pence.
There you go. That's really, really good. Thank you so much. I'll
Thank you.
speak to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.